Catan Vasel here, and welcome to Look Back. Look Back is where we take a look at reviews that I did a year, 5 years, and 10 years ago, and tell you what I think about those games today, if I think about them at all, and see how they've changed. So let's get started with a year ago, 2016. First, we have Port of Pyrius, or Pyrius, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. This is a resource collection game, which was just basically, it was very bad components, but also fairly broken. So there's not much more to say about it than, whatever, wasting time. Apple Pop. This is a game where you're shooting apples onto a thing. I first saw some adults playing it. They're like, this is fantastic. It's okay. It's for kids, though. It's just popping apples into a tree. Silly fun for younger children. Then we have the Mage Wars Academy, Priestess and Warlock decks. This was a welcome addition because Mage Wars Academy, which I think is superior to Mage Wars, needed more cards for it, since they haven't and still won't release a list of Mage Wars cards that are compatible with Academy. So we needed more cards. This brought in two more of the summoners that could be brought in, the Priestess and the Warlock. They both have very different feels to them with more decks. So of course I like that. Histrio. This is a game where you have animals putting on plays, and it's a pretty solid game, although I think Asmodee's pricing change that came out at the same time kind of tanked this one, but a lot of fun as you draft the different cards and tried to put on the best play possible. Then we have Exodus, Edge of Extinction. Exodus, Proxima Centauri, is a game I really like. A space game where you're going out and conquering and getting resources. Great little game. I consider it like Twilight Imperium Light. This expansion helped tremendously. Really enjoying this expansion. It gave asymmetrical powers. It added more stuff. But the asymmetrical powers was the coolest thing, where each faction feels extremely different. Really, really like that. All right, let's go back 5 years ago. First, we have Miskatonic School for Girls. Now, this is interesting because I'm about to review Miskatonic School for Boys, which is a completely different game, and actually I like. But Miskatonic School for Girls was this company's first game, and it was a deck building game, but it was also like a take that game, and it kind of like you were sticking bad cards in other people's decks. It just was not a very well put together game. Didn't really enjoy it. I did enjoy Catan Junior. This is a great game. It's a simplistic version of Catan where you're collecting different things, almost with a pirate theme to it. And so it works really well. It's for kids still. It's very light, but a lot of fun, Catan Junior. And then Sentinels of the Multiverse, Rook City. This was the first expansion for Sentinels, and that was kind of a welcome addition. More enemies to fight against, a couple new heroes, so a lot of fun. And then Takeoko. This game has really been growing on me as the years have gone by. This panda eating bamboo style game. Lots of fun. They made a deluxe version of years later, but you don't need the deluxe version. The basic version is very deluxe looking itself. Of course, Matago just makes great games, and so this one has consistently done well for me at groups and things. And then Manila. Manila didn't come out 5 years ago. I guess I just decided to review it. This game is just excellent as you are betting on boats that are going down the river here, and you are betting whether they're going to succeed or whether they're going to fail, or maybe if the boat lands, you get some of the profits. It's kind of like playing roulette to some degree with boats. It's a fun little gambling game. It's just entertaining. So that's Manila. All right, 10 years ago, I reviewed Section X, which is just, again, another one of these really bad games that should be forgotten. I'm not even going to talk about it. Zero In. This game's not very good either. This is a game where you are asking questions about people, and you ask a question, and the more clues you give, the more you narrow in. But in one game, we went through half the game, half the questions. There's just not enough game in the box, unfortunately. Cineplex City. This is a game about movies where you have different categories. It's a fine game. You'll notice I dropped the rating because there's a lot of games out there in this category now. And if you do play this with someone who knows a lot of movies, it might not be as fun, but it's still different categories, putting them together, it works. And then Battle Lore Call to Arms. This was an expansion for Battle Lore. I loved this expansion. You'll notice it dropped some, not because I think the expansion's bad, but because Battle Lore 2 did it in a better way, implemented it, and made this expansion kind of like not, whatever. I guess if you want to go find Battle Lore and get this expansion, that's fantastic because it basically allowed you to have random battlefields and random setups, and that's great. But Battle Lore 2 has that incorporated into the game. So, but it still was, when it came out, amazing. So those are the reviews that I did 1, 5, and 10 years ago. That's my look back. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and this is The Dice Tower.